every single fashion brand is talking about the millions that were made with NFTs, right? We know it because they come to us all the time.
Hi, this is Steffy and welcome to the Financial Fox, investing and innovation ideas with a twist. Today, my guest is Adriana Opperbrauner, co-founder of the Fabricant. So the show is about fashion, but not only that. We talk about the creator economy, where the consumer is not a consumer anymore, but he wants to be a participant of an ecosystem. He wants to be a creator. So we discuss about the importance of community. We talk about digital fashion and the fact that actually the metaverse is not too far away, but is already here. And brands, the big brands, are noticing that. And that's why some of them are actually trying out, crypto things. They are trying out NFTs. NFTs, something else that everybody thinks is just a buzzword, something, that people just want to make quick money on it, but actually they are big disruptor of the fashion industry. Adriana, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Maybe first of all, do you want to introduce yourself, give a little bit of information about your background, how you got involved into digital fashion, and ultimately how you co-founded the Fabricant?
Yeah, sure. So at the Fabricant, we have 3 founders, 2 women and a guy. And I'll maybe talk about the Fabricant first and then myself. And the 3 of us are of different backgrounds. And actually, we believe that the joint effort of all our different backgrounds and experience what makes the Fabricant so unique. So we have Carrie, which is our CEO. He's very much a creative technologist. He comes from a visual effects filming background. Amber, who is our digital fashion designer, first graduate in the Fashion Institute in Amsterdam with a digital-only portfolio, very brave back then. And myself, I come more from a business background, so traditional, really bricks and mortar, physical fashion. And I think what we all share as beliefs is that fashion doesn't need to be physical to exist. If anything, we want to explore our identities in the digital space, and the digital space is lacking digital fashion. So we strongly believe that that transition is happening right now already. And that when you get there, having that new digital fashion sector, we foresee a fashion industry that's much more sustainable, more creative, more equitable, and also more inclusive. And that's the shared passion, and together we make it happen.
Wow, that's very interesting. So you mentioned the fact that you come from a brick and mortar fashion industry. So what have you been doing before the Fabricant?
Yes, I worked mostly with fashion brands and retailers, always as marketing director and very much responsible for the digital transformation or digital omnichannel strategies. So I always have the very strong affinity with digitalization. So I worked for Nike, I worked for Hunker Miller, I worked for a very strong Dutch retailer called Hema. And in the past, I worked actually in technology as well for Orange Mobile. So always looking from a consumer point of view and try to take those trends into account in the business, but of course in the business that's very physical still.
Okay, and you mentioned this new space of a digital economy, digital fashion is actually emerging, is changing the humanity. Can you maybe explain a little bit your vision and how you have seen technology completely revolutionize or evolutionize the fashion industry?
Yeah, amazing that you asked, because actually the fashion industry is one of the less creative industries that we feel is really embracing digitalization, right? When you think about film, how different film is from 10 years ago. When you think about photography, architecture, auto manufacturing, like everything that there is a creative element and a design element has already digitalized, and fashion is one of those last ones. But we believe that it's time, and that time is maybe coming from outside of the industry rather than inside the industry alone, right? I think the outside pressures is a sustainability pressure where, again, the brand fans and the fashion fans are demanding those brands to be more sustainable, and digitalization is one of the answers. I think the other side is acknowledging that we all live in digital lives, and in those digital lives, fashion is not playing a significant role quite yet, because fashion hasn't found their digital representation, whether it is on the source, where designers can design digitally in 3D, like again, an example would be architecture, or whether it's enhancing creations, like for example in the film industry, where 3D digitalization actually enhances creations, or whether it is on the actually utilization and consumption, like the gaming industry, right? So we feel that we do bring all those pieces of the puzzle from other industries into the Fabricant and into the fashion world, but we feel that evolution is being very much forced by the users and the lovers of fashion themselves.
And you mentioned before, when we had a chat earlier on, about the creator economy and how actually this has become a real important push for change in the fashion industry, where the consumer is not really a consumer anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. No, I love that topic. I can speak hours about it. Like I really believe that calling people consumers is such a wrong term these days. It's like it assumes that you're a passive consumer of the economy, that you have a passive role, and that is absolutely not how this new generation is operating, right? So when you look at all the models that have traction, they are very much the ones that are enabling people to monetize their creativity, or to play with their creativity, right? So I think the brands that are successful today are the ones that are not only creating strong narratives, but that are enabling their fans to play with those narratives and make their own. And we believe that that's the space where fashion is going, and enabled very much by technology. And that is where, for us, blockchain, NFT as it is right now is just the start. For us, blockchain is like the backbone technology of this new economy, where everybody can be a creator, where everybody can own and monetize their trade in an equitable way. And we're super excited about it, because as of suddenly, a lot of pieces of the puzzle are coming together to make that possible, where everybody can be a creator, where everybody can be a designer, where everybody can create fashion and create a label or not, monetize it, use it, give it second and third lives. So that's how we see it evolving. It's just a big, I think the new wave will very much embrace co-creation as a model of participation.
Okay, and picking up on this, you mentioned NFTs, and I wanted to break down a little bit into this buzzword. Everybody is jumping on the bandwagon, but really, NFT is bringing something unique, something disruptive to any industry and fashion as well. Do you maybe want to break down on what an NFT represents in fashion and how it can bring value to the fashion ecosystem? I think it's very important to make that clear.
Yeah, very good question. For us, NFTs in essence are digital assets that can be owned, right, and can be monetized and distributed. Now, right now, NFT is associated to digital art, which basically is has a collecting appeal, I would say, right? So it's primarily for collectors. We believe that fashion goes beyond collecting. If anything, the fun, when you think about what people love about fashion, it's not collecting. Nobody has very few people have wardrobes with thousands of items. You could say there is a bit that in the sneakerhead community, and maybe there are some shoe fanatics of high heels, Jimmy Choos and Manolos that would do that. But like what people love about fashion is the ability to create your identity, right? It's actually creating looks and customizing and seeing yourself on the new light, giving freedom to a certain emotion that that is going to fit your day, right? And we feel that is the next level of the NFTs when it comes to fashion. Is yes, you can own it, but ultimately you need to be able to give it a utility that goes back to the sentiment of what fashion is about. And for us, it is wearing. It's very important, wearing in the digital realm. And the other element is creating, whether it's creating and assembling your wardrobe and looks, or is actually creating and really designing your own items.
how a brand, a big brand, you mentioned Adidas, we can mention Chanel, we can mention Prada, how they are going to see the value of NFTs? Because I can understand if a fashion metaverse is going to be open and they see additional revenue coming from that, that's an easy route for them to grow into a new market, right? What are the, from a business perspective, how they would see an additional value? You mentioned about the co-creation is great, but ultimately how they are going to see value, because the only thing that's going to drive them is basically money. So if they can see a way that can enhance their client base, they can enhance their community, let's call it that way, how the value is seen, perhaps is seen in the community, maybe? How do you see that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think the short term and the long term, we're having a lot of requests from brands to collaborate with us, because we have been operating this space for, since 2018, right? And we're very cautious to say, don't come in for the short term, just to make some money, because there is a community that won't feel respected and won't resonate. And we don't want to associate our brand to people that are coming just for the quick bucks. So I think there are quite a few brands that are conscious about it and want to come in a very authentic way, honoring the community. And we help them. Like, I think the Adidas one is a bit of an example, because it was actually really honoring the community of creators. What did Adidas get out of it was traction with early adopters, with culturally relevant people, right? Which are not only creating items that carry their brands, but actually maximizing the exposure of the brand toward their own networks. So every single artist is a culturally relevant personality. The moment that they embrace a brand, make a creation of their own using that brand, right, and distributing it, they actually advocate on your behalf. So I think that there is that element, which is true brand heat, brand endorsement among early adopters of technology, early adopters of fashion, and culturally relevant people. I think that is the short term, if you ask me. And of course, you can make the millions if you do it properly, look at people's. But I think brands at this stage are not making the millions, and quite a few have done NFT drops that sold actually or not sold at all, because they are not creating the relevance. On the long term, though, and the long term is not even long term anymore, we strongly believe that digital only is an absolutely feasible business model, which is going to be, if anything, as relevant as the physical one. And from a business point of view, is much more profitable, because you don't need to create any physical item, right? Yeah. And I think a few brands are playing with it, especially in the gaming scene, and trying to learn. I do feel that it's not taken seriously enough from the traditional brands.
And why?
But I do think that the main thing is the ability to embrace newness. Again, I think Gucci is a great example. They are doing stuff. They know some of them are going to fail, some of them are going to be successful, but they're being brave to try and learn, right? I'm sure that the projects that they are doing are not like, oh, we need to make a few million. No, it's about trying and learning. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. And they're getting some backlash here and there. Like, they're launching Roblox, created an enormous backlash. Like, the community of Roblox said, you don't belong here. But you learn, you learn, you listen. And I think they are a good example of a brand that is being brave, that is being humble at the same time, that is trying different things and learning.
Talking about crypto, we mentioned about NFT. Obviously, blockchain is a big driver. Do you think, this explosion within the crypto community has actually pushed fashion to change? You think a lot has come from crypto. How do you see crypto role, within all this change in the fashion industry? I would like to understand that.
Yeah, I think minimum, every single fashion brand is talking about the millions that were made with NFTs, right? We know it because they come to us all the time. So I think it shook up the establishment, and to see, like, I love the fact that Sotheby's and Christie's jumped in, because for me they are like, they are symbolically, that's also very old institution, and hey, they're embracing the new and they're giving credibility to the new. And I think that is beautiful. So I think did put people, a bit on off the tracks to think like, oh my God, what's happening here and why we're not part of it. And I'm sure that every single CMO is asking that team, how can we do an NFT, right? And we get a lot of them on the phone and on calls these days. I do feel that it is still quite short term because, again, there is very little strategic thinking and there is very little understanding of what it can be, what it is and what it can be and how to get there. But it's a good start. And then on the more like beyond just the NFT craze and the crypto craze, again, for us, it's just like a backbone technology. What's happening in blockchain, what is happening in 3D development is for us Web 3.0. is what's going to replace the internet as we know right now. The internet was the biggest revolution we had in the last century. Web 3.0 is going to be equivalent to that. It's going to go from a 2D flat media to an interactive media. It's going to go from a non-transparent value creation to a transparent value creation. It's going to go from a consumer-creator kind of passive relationship to a full creative playground, right? And it's gonna be so disruptive when it gets to mass that you better jump in right now to understand how it works.
Exactly. And talking about, you mentioned Web 3.0, you mentioned about the creator economy and the fact that a consumer wants to be a creator as well. Here it comes to me, right? We need to talk about how the community want to get rewards. So the rewards is a very important element because it's a way that everybody contribute and make money. Even kind of when you buy something, you kind of get something out of it. And I would like to hear what you think about a rewarding community.
Yeah, again, very good question in the context of Web 3.0. What we believe is that a lot of organizations are going to be decentralized, where fans are going to be part of the organization. So, it's kind of loyalty rethought, right? You think about loyalty programs, everybody understands you get points and discounts, right? Now think it further. Think that you are an owner in the brand. You are part of this decentralized cooperative model. You're going to be able to vote on things. You're going to be able to get privileges. And we believe that creators and brands will have their own coins, and that social coin is going to be the new reward system, which will give you access to benefits that goes beyond, again, the goods that you might purchase. And the key benefit is going to be participation.
So listen, that was great chatting with you, Adriana. Where people can go if they are interested in being part of the journey or sharing ideas, where should they contact you or get involved in the platform?
Yeah, best place is our Discord channel. So we have the Fabricant Discord. You can find the address in our website.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Adriana. I look forward to have you back on the show when something else exciting is happening.
Great, Stefania. Thank you so much. And good luck there. Talk soon.
Thank you so much. Bye. Right, I hope that you enjoy this conversation with Adriana. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please click the button and follow us on social media as well, so you can share our episode if you like. You can get in touch with me if you have got any suggestion or comment. And, feel free to suggest other topic that you would like us to cover, because, I love to interview people based on what is in my interest, but I would love to hear from you. So that's why click the subscribe button, follow us on social media, let me know what you think about the show, and any suggestion, any comment, please message me. This is Steffi, and I will see you next time.